under 2. Move my little face there, hit post. So there's where your codes are to go back into this. So yet again, hit turn in just for right now and just watch me. Okay, and then I did go ahead and enter this as if I were a student. So this is exactly what you look at, correct? Yes, thumbs up. Okay, tomorrow I am going to go through and grade this and put comments. I was kind of taking a long time, but I liked it because I did this for my second and third hour. They have a test tomorrow. Yours is Friday. And you can go back in and hopefully my comments come up. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. First hour I'm off, so I'll probably look at you guys tomorrow. And then yeah, we'll just go from there. So tomorrow at some point. So today, hopefully you can finish this. These shouldn't take long. And then I'll go ahead and make those comments, and that's it. I'm not going to go back and look at them. If they're not finished, they're not. Okay, so go ahead and hit turn in just to save your spot, and then look at this. So this is what I was talking about. What do I have to write as far as the work here? And I think the direction is a little bit more firm. I just did this real quick. I wanted the work shown. So what do we do first when we find inverse? We switch x and y. So the first thing that happens is this turns into x equals 3 plus, and then square roots. This is what I meant, like SQR or something. Square roots, parentheses, 8 minus x would be cool. We could just do that. Then hit enter. The next step would be maybe subtract 3 from both sides. Now it would say x minus 3 equals. And I had one student, actually, well, I won't say his name, but he is in this class. One student did this when I had the last test where it said write your steps or like describe what you did. This is what they did. And it's like, this is awesome. This is math writing. Instead of writing words, well, first I did this, and second I did this. This works out way better. It's probably hard to show square both sides. So when you write this step, that kind of tells me that. Caret for squareds equals a free 8 minus x. And then we could probably do 2 steps in one here. Subtract, that's not x. I would get 1 point off, wouldn't I? Right? Switch x and y. Those are y's. Ooh, good thing I caught that as if I were a student. Right? My bad. I just noticed that was a problem because I have to end up with y at the end. But really I don't. So how would I do the inverse of f of x if I wanted to write that notation? Caret -1 of x. I know it looks ugly, but that's how you do it, for showing an exponent kind of thing. So I subtract 8, but then I multiply everything by a negative. So it's negative. If you wanted to put the 1, fine. A negative out in front is okay as well. X minus 3 carets, or close that parentheses, caret squared. Subtract 8, but then it gets multiplied by a -1. Boom. And then that's it. That's the inverse. I write it with inverse notation. I did 2 steps in one. That's pretty good there. This is decent work to show that a student knows what the heck they're doing. Okay, good. And in addition to the fact, I'm showing you how that question should have been done. And I'm taping it, so we're all good there. Did it show up? Oh, that scared me. Oh my gosh, my computer's so slow. So this is what I'd write for work. Sorry, and I didn't show, show work. Tomorrow it'll be more specific, or you will have to show your steps. Let's just put that out there right now. So f minus g just means take them and subtract them. Be careful on this, plus 2x. The biggest mistake people always make, not always, but the biggest mistake made ever on questions like this is not distributing the minus sign. Check time here, good. Okay, doing pretty well here. All right, and then this probably could be just a final answer after this. This one's kind of real basic. Really got to get to the next one. That's where we got some tough stuff going on there. So 2x minus 2x is no x's anymore. And then 7 plus a -6 is 13. So really, I think that'd be good enough. You at least showed what f minus g means. You showed the correct stuff there and went from there. This is in the way. Or is it? Oh no, my face is in the way. So many things. Okay, next. Makes for good video. Ooh, what does that open dot mean? Well, that means f of g of x. So this might be what the student would write first. F of g of x. And then we went over this during the, thing that we did. I'm losing my mind. Was that Tuesday when we did yesterday? What's it called? Quizzes, correct? Yes, 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 yes. And I really explained this one, this type of question. Now, this one's a tough one. So just watch what I do. Whoops. Well, I wouldn't mark you wrong if you put a capital F. First of all, you insert g of x into those parentheses. G of x's name, g of x is equal to 2x minus 6. So I can replace 2x minus 6 there. Now the next thing, I'd probably hit enter on this and go ahead and plug in wherever there's an x. Where's my mouse? Wherever there's an x, in f of x, I'm going to plug in a 2x minus 6. Holy cannolis. Now, this is a big one. Probably won't be this bad, but it really is a math 1 or math 2 question if you are just careful. So after I get the pre-calculus part of this done, meaning what does f of g of x mean, after this, it's a math 1, math 2 question. How do I simplify this? Well, I might shorten up my steps. The first thing is, no, you cannot distribute that 4. And maybe I can explode this out a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Nice. Okay, so maybe you can see my writing a little bit better. You FOIL 2x minus 6. No, you can't distribute the 4 yet. So foiling 2x minus 6, 2x times 2x is 4x squared. I'll stop at this. Whoa. I'll stop at this one after I write this step. There'll be like 2 more steps after this. 2x times negative 6 twice. So that's negative 24x. And negative 6 times negative 6 is 36. Big numbers, just have your calculator out. I'd probably go ahead and distribute this 2 just to keep my steps moving. So I'm just giving you an idea what you need to be showing. The last thing you'd have to do is distribute the 4 and add like terms. So there'll be another step and another step. I just want to get on to the other questions. All right. And then what does that leave us? Oh, baby. Here we go. Graphing that piecewise. Look at that nice little graph I have there. Probably going to have to shrink this down because that looks pretty good. I want to be able to see everything as I graph this. All right. Use the big dots for dots, and then use the small thing for writing or graphing through those dots. Now remember this stuff, and then again use this for how to do it kind of thing. I can't write up here; I can only write down here. So I can only graph this negative x squared plus 1 for x values that are less than negative 1, but I'm still going to plug in negative 1. So I'm going to plug in negative 1, square it, get 1, but then slap a negative on it, and now it's back to negative 1. Plus 1 is 0. So all I just described was I plugged in negative 1 and I got 0. Oy. We're going to do the best I can. The last quiz that we had, we did okay. Wrong. I have to hit the back button. That is an open dot. So be real obnoxious and showing right there that that's an open dot. That is really tough with the mouse. Just do the best you can. Okay, so you do plug in negative 1, but you make it an open dot. Then you plug in negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. This is a parabola that actually goes up 1 and then faces down after that. So parabolically, this looks something like this. So I'm going to make it look like a parabola. I could find 1 more coordinate or 2 more and make a dot, and that might be nice. But for time purposes of this video, I just didn't do that. So I think I would expect that of you. At least 1 more dot and showing that it's curved like a parabola. Here, this is a horizontal line. G of x equals negative 2. So at negative 2, we have a horizontal line starting with a filled in dot here. Wrong. I'm at 0. A filled in dot here. Oh, tough. And then 2, 1, an open dot. So kind of tough graph to do here. And then I'm going to go ahead here and connect these lines. So I could see the student did that, me being the student. I understand that there are difficulties, If I was a student, I'd probably go back and say, all right, I want to make sure that's really filled in. And then I could see the open dot that they did there, and I could probably zoom in on this later. And then I graph the square root of x minus 1 plus 5 for x greater than 1. So that means I require, maybe I should use a small dot for the open dots. This is an open dot at 1 comma. By the way, 1 comma is 1 minus 1, 0. Square root of 0, 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. So 1 comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another open dot. So maybe for open dots, thinner is better. And that is the starting point of this graph. When I plug in 2, I get 6. So maybe I'll go back to this thick dot. 2, I get 6. And then after you, why is that not graphing? Oh, yeah. Okay. And then you get the classic square root of x look. I meant to do this as a filled in dot, but that's what that should look like. Now, this is weird. I know people are going to leave, and then that means your grade's going to go down to tubes. The domain is actually all real numbers. I go from negative infinity to negative 1, but then include negative 1 to 1, and then I go off from 1 to infinity for all 3 parts. The range is actually a kicker. The range, I'm going to write it right in here. Range, I think that's slowness of my computer as well, is from negative infinity to 0. So negative infinity to 0. If you had to type this, just put negative INF to 0, and it's a parenthesis because it doesn't include that 0. And then starting at 5, I'm having some computer issues here. That's why this isn't writing very well. Parenthesis to infinity because of that last part. So know how to do domain and range on piecewise as well. So I kind of scratched that down real quick, kind of ugly. Hopefully you can do the same in the midst of your graph. I just showed you the answer. But, it's for functionality, making sure that you can actually do this because you're going to have to do something exactly like this on Friday. All right. You have the luxury also of asking me questions tomorrow from 2 to 3 or 1 to 2 if you send me an email. All right. See you. And you can stay on if you have questions. I do have to get 6 hour ready though. No, but I do want you to do it. I'll be upset. Logan, very upset. Because I'm going to go ahead and look at it tomorrow, probably during first hour tomorrow. So hopefully you can take a look at this and finish this off today. I could see what your attempt was and make some comments tomorrow. Okay. Don't forget the other stuff that's on the calendar as well, and just make sure you're prepared for the test Friday. Okay. Oh, did I hit all the tests? Why is that? Oh, I'm still taping. Gosh, dog it. Yeah. How do I get out of? Oh boy, this is going to be fun. I don't know how to stop sharing Google Meet. Stop sharing